Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Bob Pompeani. So much to get into. We'll get into the Penguins a little later in the broadcast, but #1 topic tonight is the Steelers and the predicament they find themselves in after losing in overtime to the Ravens today, 26-23. Here's your panel left to right. Co-author of These Walls Can Talk, and If These Walls Can Talk, with Phil Bork, is Josh Yohe, beat writer for the Penguins and The Athletic. Ron Cook, columnist with the Post-Gazette and host of the Midday Show on The Fan. And then Tim Benz over there to the right from TribLive.com and the DVE pregame show. Well, we're going to get right into it. 1-4, only 5% of the teams in the history of the NFL, Ron Cook, have made the playoffs. So what did this loss do to the Steelers? Is this season pretty much done?
Well, in my opinion, it is. I tried to find some faith after the 0-3 start because the division is so bad. But 1-4, it's just going to be brutal to come back from. I thought they needed to win last week against Cincinnati, which they did. This week against Baltimore, which they did. And I think it's going to be a real hard road ahead. You're not going to have Roethlisberger. You may not have Mason Rudolph. I don't like their chances to get back into it. I really don't.
The division is bad. The conference is terrible, but they're letting opportunities slip by with AFC losses. Let's say, for instance, the Ravens do win the division. Look at Buffalo, even though they're a fraud at 3-1. Look at the Browns, even though they might go like 2-5 to start the season. I bet you both those teams still wind up above 500 because of their dreadful schedules that they have the rest of the way. Steelers might pick up a few wins, but I only see them as a 5 to 6 win team right now, especially because now they're on their third string quarterback, maybe fourth string quarterback.
I would give them a chance if they had Ben Roethlisberger, even if they were 1-4, because this division, they don't have Ben Roethlisberger. And even when Ben was healthy for the first 5 quarters of the season, this was an offense that looked pretty limited. Now you've got James Washington out. I know he hasn't been much, but still, you're really down a lot at receiver. This is an offense that simply isn't very good. I can't imagine them coming back from 1-4. And it's a shame for the defense because, boy, have they made strides in the last 3 weeks. With Minkah Fitzpatrick in 3 games, 15 sacks and 10 turnovers. Very impressive, really, and I thought they played well enough to win today. I can't imagine this offense really helping them get back into contention.
Let me dovetail off that defense and just bring this up because it seems, however, they have improved their numbers. There's no question about that, Josh. But, Tim, every time the offense seems to score a meaningful touchdown, and they did today when Mason Rudolph goes 5 plays, 75 yards to Juju Smith-Schuster, what does the defense do? Gives up a touchdown just as quickly on a 13-play counter drive. That, to me, is a problem, and it has been pretty much all season, I thought.
It's true. It happened, I believe, once, if not twice, against San Francisco. And honestly, it would have happened against Cincinnati, too, if Cincinnati didn't help them out by calling a timeout to allow them to put the starters back in because the backups were allowed to play for a series. And the starters went back in. They got the strip sack of Andy Dalton. Look, this defense was so lauded today, not only by fans, but the coach decided that he would defer on the overtime kickoff after he won the coin toss because he had so much faith in the defense that quizzically, though, had given away the lead twice in the fourth quarter. The defense was the better of the 2 units. The defense did a lot of really good things today, not just getting the interceptions and the sacks, but also limiting Baltimore yardage-wise overall. But, Bob, you make an excellent point. They have still been soft in having what the baseball types would call shutdown innings. After you score, you keep momentum and you keep the other team from scoring.
Well, I have a hard time blaming the defense at all for the performance today. That's a pretty good offense they're playing. They held the passing game of Baltimore, was it like 100, 150 yards fewer than what they've been averaging? They held the running game to 100, 150 yards fewer than what they had been averaging. You got to do some stuff on offense once in a while to take a little pressure off of the defense. I was more troubled last year by the fourth quarter collapses than this year. I can't blame the defense for this loss.
Yeah, I can't either. Maybe it's not the most opportunistic defense, but I think it's been very good the last 3 weeks. They have to be almost perfect with the way this offense is right now. And the Steelers offense, listen, the predicament they were in, I can't complain with what they did. But right now, this is a football team that is literally finding ways to lose almost every week.
Well, that's what bad teams usually do. They find ways to lose.
No, it's true, and they're certainly not getting any help from their special teams. I found it very interesting.
Yeah, the special teams was terrible. The return game was awful, and that might have helped dictate Tomlin's decision, too.
Well,
it might have. He flat out said that.
I was stunned that he said it,
he also flat out said he wouldn't use the Wildcat as much, so he BS'd us there. I'm not sure why.
Well, I mean, he talked before the game about the Wildcat. He told you what he was doing after the game, what he did. He said, we're going to get the ball at the tough. Do I want that?
I don't
And then
recall.
his defense did what he said it was going to do by forcing the punt. Juju had the fumble.
I was startled by how honest he was. I don't recall him ever saying anything like that. He acknowledged they're better on special teams than we are. We know we would start at the 15-yard line with the quality of their offense.
However.
But hold on for a second. When he said that, he also said on Tuesday he didn't want to play a field position game with the Ravens. Aren't you basically playing the field position game by giving away the opportunity to have the ball first and maybe score a touchdown?
No, I think he did exactly what he said. He didn't want to play the field position game. He figures they're going to kick off. You got your fourth-string quarterback in there. You're going to start the ball probably at your 15-yard line with the fourth-string quarterback. He's figuring we may have to punt, and all they need to do is get it halfway to, within field goal range because they got Tucker who can kick it from 70 yards if he has to. I think he did exactly that. He didn't want to play the field goal.
Let me ask you this. Because that call of deferring, now I get it, and it worked out exactly the way Mike Tomlin had envisioned because he didn't trust his special teams. However, the risk when you do that is one play from a Lamar Jackson to break it, you'll never touch the ball.
Actually,
and you're
yes,
done.
you're exactly right.
You're done. So why would you not want to take the ball first?
No idea.
I understand what Tomlin said, too. I think it's a tough decision to make, but I would have made it the other way.
I understand the logic. It's still not the right thing to do. If you have an opportunity to win the game with the ball in your hands, take that opportunity and don't give the opportunity to the other team. The logic for doing it is sound, except for it doesn't make any sense.
Like, do you factor in the fourth-string quarterback at all?
Yeah, but you got to score with the fourth-string quarterback at some point.
No, you don't. Not if you stop them at first. They punt it, then all you need is a field goal. Juju doesn't fumble that. What are they, 20 yards away from a field goal?
Ron, when they did this, you thought it was the right move.
I didn't until I heard his explanation afterwards.
And the reason why is because it's not the right move. It's always the right move to take the ball and not let the other team have a ball, like Bob said, with an opportunity to score. Lamar, you can do everything right on defense, and Lamar Jackson can still run for 75 yards.
And then you get beat if that happens.
I was reminded.
You don't get the ball.
Reminded of a game in 2009 against Green Bay when the Steelers couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers. Mike Tomlin decided to go with an onside kick when the Steelers were winning the game, and they only came back to win it because of the last-second play to Mike Wallace. I will say this for Mike Tomlin. He's not afraid to take chances. He knew he would get torched for that if indeed the Steelers lost this game. I see why he did it, but
This is the reverse psychology. We don't live in our fears because that defines living in his fears.
And that's the problem with it. Just like the offensive game plan when they went Wildcat on the second series, you had to let the kid play a little bit. And when Rudolph started to play, all of a sudden they certainly some hypocrisy with the decision making. I will say that.
We have plenty more coming up here. I want to get into some topics as we move forward, and there's so many of them, including the Wildcat. Why do it so early? It resulted in an interception. It worked one week. There was no guarantee it was going to do it again this week, but they got burned by that. And we'll also do next with quarterbacks because at this point, it is a fluid situation. But first, I want to tell you that football season, as you know, is underway. So here's my advice for you. Pick up a new #1 Cochran Chevy and be ready for those tailgate parties and road trips. And you better get there fast because #1 Cochran Chevy's amazing buy and lease specials, they're not going to last too long. You'll get the best offers of the season on all the big-name Chevy players, including Silverado, Traverse, and Malibu, only at the new #1 Cochran Chevrolet Cranberry, formerly Kenny Ross, or visit CochranChevrolet.com. We'll be back with more after this. The #1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran, Go One Better, and by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health.